Hey folks, Philly Boy J here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make asparagus. And this is the way that I make mine. I don't know how you make yours, but I'm going to be showing you guys my recipe on how to make asparagus. What you're going to do first is you're going to remove the thick white part of the asparagus at the bottom. You're going to remove that. We're not going to be cooking that. I don't like the way it tastes. So I always cut that part off before cooking my asparagus. And asparagus is one of my favorite things to eat. I eat it as a side dish. One of my favorite vegetables. I think it's absolutely delicious, at least the way I make it. Okay, you're going to place your asparagus in a colander, and we're going to rinse these bad mothers off. We want our asparagus to be nice and clean and fresh before cooking them. Nice and clean, oh so beautiful and green. Just look at them and you'll see what I mean. So give them a nice rinse. Okay, rinse them off. Here are the ingredients that we're going to be using. I'm going to be using apple cider vinegar, crushed red peppers, salt for taste, minced garlic, and margarine or butter. You're going to place a pan over heat, and we're going to add our margarine or butter. I'm using butter. I prefer to use butter, but it doesn't really matter. If you only have margarine around the house, you can use margarine. Okay. So we're going to add that to the pan. And once that begins to melt, you're going to add your minced garlic. And we're only going to be using a small amount of each ingredient. You do not want to over season your asparagus. Okay, and we're going to stir that in, give that a nice stir. We're also going to be adding our apple cider vinegar. Now, a lot of people don't add vinegar to their asparagus, but I do. And if you want to follow my recipe to a T, you're going to use apple cider vinegar. Please don't use that white vinegar. It needs to be apple cider vinegar. But I always like to add different ingredients to my food. Ingredients that may not be very common. As in the case of asparagus, it's not common to see people adding vinegar to asparagus, but you're going to love it. I've made asparagus for a lot of people, and they always rant and rave about how good it is. And through creativity, you may discover different methods and ways to make great food. You're going to add your salt and your crushed red peppers. And then we're going to add our asparagus at this point. Now, there isn't any set time on how long to cook them. And I say that because people like asparagus in many different ways. Some people like limp asparagus, and some people like their asparagus to be crunchy and solid. So just cook it until it reaches your desired level of tenderness. Okay? Once it is as tender as you like your asparagus, then you will cut the fire off. But I can't really tell you how long to cook asparagus. You want to cook it for at least 5 minutes. I know that much, but after that point, it really depends on how you like it. So give it a taste test. Taste one, and if it is as tender or done as you like it, take it out. I like my asparagus to be cooked all the way through. I like it on the tender side. Some people like theirs really crunchy. If you're eating it for health purposes, then you probably wouldn't cook it long because you want to retain all the nutrients. If you're eating it because you just love the way it tastes, then you probably will cook it longer. But it's pretty much done now. And this asparagus is going to be flavorful, absolutely delicious, because I make the best. I said the best asparagus in the whole wide world. Don't nobody make asparagus like Philly Boy J. Nobody. Don't nobody do it quite like him. I said, I'll pay you to find, pay you to find somebody that make asparagus like Philly Boy J. I'll pay you. I'll pay you. I said, I'll pay you. Don't nobody make asparagus like Philly Boy J. Nobody. Just trying to tell you, they just don't. Don't come out with this kind of flavor right here. I made this for my friend, and she was tearing it up. She was sucking the juices out of the asparagus, and then she would chew it finally. It was that good, guys. A lot of people just make asparagus with olive oil. They don't add any butter to it. I just think the butter or the margarine just give it more flavor. I think the vinegar adds something special to it. Okay, so there's your asparagus. And make sure you visit my website. Visit my website for the full recipe, instructions, and measurements, or check the video description box below. This is Philly Boy J's recipe on asparagus.